Okay, hi. It's like 2:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna have to keep the voice down just a small bit. I've had my medication as well, so I'm a little bit loopy, but anyway, try and kind of push that loopiness to one side and stay sane long enough to get this video done. Okay, so I was looking kind of like things like on Tumblr to kind of like do, I suppose, because I'm kind of really stuck for ideas, to be honest. We're day one, 2 videos down, and well, I say day as in 24 hours. We're in the last now 24 hours. Oh, so, oh no, not again. Okay, there we go. Sorry. We're talking the last 24 hours, so yeah, we're getting far enough, but didn't really take long until I came up, or until I found, sorry, not came up, found this thing called the, what is it? Weekly Speaking Challenge. You really kind of wonder what these kind of things, I mean, it's just, I don't know, I'm failing so far at it anyway. Anyway, let's have a look. So this kind of speaking challenge thing was kind of started up, I'm guessing a good while ago actually, by corbinstudies.tumblr.com. For like language, I guess, really. I've only seen the first page of it anyway, so the intro is, let's read that out for you. For the first weekly speaking challenge, the topic is Get to Know Me. You can make an introduction video in your target language to say a few things about yourself so we can all get to know each other a little bit better. Okay. Now I'm guessing the other 4 are going to be a little bit easier than this, because whenever somebody ever asks you to tell them a bit more about yourself, you just panic and forget everything about yourself and all your fucking achievements, everything you've actually ever done. So, I don't know. And obviously, I mean, like, in reality, when somebody asks you that, you can't just be just there like, oh, because they're gonna be like, give me some fucking answers now. Like, sorry, I straightened my hair really, like I was actually gonna wash it today, but it's so straight because I don't see it this straight that often, so I'm just gonna leave it straight for a few days, I think. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, yeah. So I think it might kind of say or imply that you kind of give a few more specific, kind of significant details about yourself, significant kind of things that have happened to you that could make people, I don't know, desire you or something, or appease them, something, I don't know. Jeez, I'm really great at this. Okay, when I was younger, I had a few dreams. The first one actually obviously was just to be a fucking princess, which is never going to happen, and I can kind of see that now. Some of the more realistic ones I had when I was younger were an artist, a singer, and an author. I was a mad bookworm when I was younger. I still am, but I just don't kind of have the time to read books much more than anymore, I guess. I'm just kind of, all for the techno stuff, I guess. I kind of moved on from the actual paper. Somewhat. We might kind of get back to it someday. Probably will, actually, because, once a Potterhead, always a Potterhead. I started off, I think, by reading things like Enid Blyton's kind of children's books, and I'm serious, like, I was fucking obsessed with those. I think even at the age of 8, I was just there like, what the fuck is this person doing? Why is he going over this way? Can you not smell the trap from a mile away? I actually read one story about this imp or something who tricked this wizard and kind of destroyed his potion or something. And the wizard was coming up with some pretty kind of creative ways to kill him. To which the imp always replied, "Oh yes, do that. The only thing I'm going to ask you not to do at this point is drown me." Now, the creative ways of killing him were putting him into a pot and boiling him with some duck. Yep. There was one, I think, about putting him in another kind of fucking metal pot and roasting him over a fire. This is a children's book. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad, but when you think about it, that's kind of fucking excruciating. And whenever the imp said, "Oh yes, 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 please do that," the fucking wizard was like, "Oh, you seem to be kind of really eager. Well, in that case, I won't do it." Oh, fucking 3 tries later. Oh, hold on a second. You seem kind of afraid of drowning. I think I shall drown you. Fucking swims off, doesn't he? Fucking great. I mean, I'm just there like, are these adults or what? Yeah, so, but obviously, I mean, like, I moved on like a bit later. Surprisingly, didn't get round to reading the Harry Potter until I was 14. I read the first 3. and then I guess watched the movies then. No, actually, I actually watched the movies first, and then I read the first three long before I was like 15 or whatnot. I think I read the first three actually before I was even 11. I loved them. Just was obsessed with the first three. I don't know why I didn't kind of want to move on. Like I guess the whole kind of idea like of them growing up kind of scared me or something. Um, when I was 12, when we headed into secondary school, and our novel for the year in English was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And surprisingly enough, the actual novel of the year got me into that series, and I was obsessed with that for a while. Don't get me started on the movies. Don't even no, won't go there. And I was kind of stuck with that kind of series for a few years. Like I was juggling kind of like me like kind of like in and out between that and music and stuff like that. Singing, been slacking a lot recently. In the last 3 years, I haven't been doing it as much as I should have been doing. I've kind of like lost my touch, if you get me, and my voice has kind of died a bit. I've got faith that it's still there, and it just needs a bit of kind of effort to rekindle. But we're gonna have to give it a bit of time before I can really do much about it, I guess. 14 I was when I started reading the Harry Potters. I actually remember spending that midterm, the Halloween midterm, because we get the week off during the Halloween kind of week. No. February? I think it was February. One of the midterms, one of the weeks we had off school. We had like a whole week off school. I spent one of them pretty much. I started away like on the Goblet of Fire. One thing that kind of like kind of like grabbed my attention was the whole Harry thinking about writing the letter to Dumbledore about his scar hurting. Dear Professor Dumbledore, sorry to bother you, but I've got a bit of a pang in my head right now. Yours sincerely, Harry Potter. You're like, I'm on fucking holiday, Harry. Would you piss off? And I was just laughing there for a while, kind of trying to like imagine it like. So it was definitely good. I kind of spent the whole midterm, didn't even go near the computer, just spent the whole midterm reading the books in my room. I actually remember, surprisingly enough, starting the last book, starting it when I was in hospital one time, somewhere kind of like halfway in the middle of my hospital stay. It must have been when I was 14, because I was in hospital then when I was 15, but that was, we're talking knocking on 16 years of age, so can't even remember the time I was actually in hospital. I've been to hospital. I've been to hospital with with dermatitis so many times. Like as a child, I can't even fucking count down anything. I was actually surprisingly enough now again just there last week. A lot of you who follow me on Twitter will know that because I never shut the fuck up about how much I hated the place. Hate the adult ward. So much fucking nicer on the children's ward. Okay. See, I started it there. I mean, like, this was kind of like, back in the day where I didn't really mind hospital that much. Even it's kind of where, there was actually like a time where I really enjoyed it. Kids just love being the center of attention, I think. Who doesn't, right? Yeah, it was kind of a bit of a messy start of a book, I guess. I finished it off when I got home, obviously, because it was a few days later. So it was a few days later, so I was like out of hospital, I guess. I do actually remember that one actually. Like I actually had the IV like in my I think I had it like in my wrist that time. I've had 2 IVs as far as I can remember. Apparently, like I had more when I was younger, but I don't remember them. One time when I was like in the A&E waiting room. At the South Infirmary back when because they closed down the A&E there, but and that'd be the ER, by the way, the emergency room. While they were waiting for that kind of confirmation from the doctor, they got ahead because they had to do blood tests for one to check for infection, and they were it was such kind of like I was so dehydrated at that point they had to pretty much put water in through an IV to keep me hydrated. So I had it there in my arm, not very comfortable because you can't bend it. And then I had one there a few years later. There's a bit of a vein there that can sometimes take blood from it. They have to get blood normally from the kind of those points in my arm. Nasty. Getting off topic. So after I finished the Harry Potter series, I was kind of just stuck with them for a long time. With the movies, I was having movie marathons and got into writing. I think at that age, 15, I kind of just thought, I really want to be an author when I'm older. Had this kind of whole idea actually. It was kind of crazy. I had this kind of idea of this boy and his sister going out into the woods and finding some kind of portal that led to kind of basically kind of like what's the word? A world just like that. I mean, you know, like just like theirs, only kind of, you know, in a different kind of dimension, I guess. With, you know, I forget what I called them. Like they were kind of like, I mean, like half humanoid, not actually human, and kind of like half nature, I guess. Not dryad. Calm down. Half human, kind of like half tree almost. And I had this kind of like idea now, like of like this kind of like, you know, pretty much like kind of like a family feud between the trees gone wrong. Tree, you know, when tree takes on tree, sort of. Kind of weird. Okay, we're knocking on 11 minutes, so I'm gonna have to cut it there for now. You kind of get the idea. I'm a bit of a bookworm for one. I'm kind of a big fan of words in general. So have a good night, y'all. Love ya.